Number 10. MIM-104 Patriot. The MIM-104 Patriot is a surface-to-air missile system that is primarily utilized by the United States Army and numerous allies. Raytheon, a U.S. defense contractor, manufactures it, and the name refers to the weapon system's radar component. The system's heart, the MPQ-53, is known as the Phased Array Tracking Radar to Intercept on Target, which is a backronym for Patriot. In 1984, the Patriot system began to replace the Nike Hercules system as the primary high-to-medium air defense system of the United States Army, and the MIM-23 Hawk system as the medium tactical air defense system. Patriot will also play a role in the United States Army's anti-ballistic missile system. The MIM-104 Patriot is a surface-to-air missile system that is primarily utilized by the United States Army and numerous allies. Raytheon, a U.S. defense contractor, manufactures it, and the name refers to the weapon system's radar component. The system's heart, the MPQ-53, is known as the Phased Array Tracking Radar to Intercept on Target, which is a backronym for Patriot. In 1984, the Patriot system began to replace the Nike Hercules system as the primary high-to-medium air defense system of the United States Army, and the MIM-23 Hawk system as the medium tactical air defense system. Patriot will also play a role in the United States Army's anti-ballistic missile system. As of 2016, the system is scheduled to be operational until at least 2040. Number 9. Ghost Boat. The field of undersea military technology is wide and fascinating. The U.S. Navy is developing the Juliet Marine Systems Ghost, a cutting-edge warship that aims to reduce friction and improve speed and maneuverability on water. Meanwhile, the Russian Navy has been operating mystery underwater ships near destroyed gas pipelines. Underwater volcanic eruptions in Japan have exposed sunken battleships from the 1940s, sometimes known as ghost ships. The Ghost Shark is an autonomous robotic undersea warfare vehicle being developed in Australia for the Royal Australian Navy. These breakthroughs illustrate the future of underwater military vehicles and the potential for warfare under the waters. Number 8. V22 Osprey Tiltrotor. The V22 Osprey is a joint production of Boeing and Textron Bell. The letter V symbolizes vertical takeoff. V22, it is a tiltrotor, variable angle engine type aircraft that can take off and land like helicopters and fly like a fixed-wing aircraft. Theoretically, the inclined rotor transforms the rotors into propellers by transferring lift force from the rotors to the wings, and the Osprey design manages to overcome the limitation of not being able to reach high speeds due to the structural limit caused by the blades of classical helicopters with its helicopter-aircraft hybrid structure. V22s, which allow internal settlement of up to 36 soldiers during military shipments, can carry approximately 10,000 pounds of cargo when only material is transferred. A .50 caliber machine gun is mounted on CV-22s for use in special operations missions. The estimated sales price for CV-22s is around $90 million United States dollars. We are talking about a hybrid aircraft-helicopter hybrid aircraft for almost the price of an F-35. In order to fly CV-22s, it is necessary to bear a rather high price tag compared to normal general-purpose helicopter prices. Number 7. M2 Bradley Fighting Vehicle. FMC Corporation designed the Bradley Fighting Vehicle, which is presently built by BAE Systems Land and Armaments, previously United Defense. The BFV is named after U.S. General Omar Bradley. The Bradley is intended to transport infantry or scouts with armor while providing cover fire to destroy enemy troops and armored vehicles. Variants include the M2 Bradley Infantry Fighting Vehicle and the M3 Bradley Reconnaissance and Infantry Fighting Vehicle. The M2 had a 3-person crew, a commander, a gunner, and a driver, as well as 6 fully armed infantry. The M3 primarily conducts scout missions and carries 2 scout troopers in addition to the standard crew of 3, with room for additional BGM-71 tow missiles. Number 6. Avenger Weapon System. The Avenger Air Defense System, designated in TWQ-1 under the Joint Electronics Type Designation System, is an American self-propelled surface-to-air missile system that provides mobile, short-range air defense protection to ground units against cruise missiles, unmanned aerial vehicles, low-flying fixed-wing aircraft, and helicopters. The Avenger was designed for the United States Armed Forces and is now employed by the Army. The Avenger system was also utilized by the United States Marine Corps. The turret houses two 4-round launchers for Stinger infrared guided surface-to-air missiles, as well as a .50 caliber machine gun. The Stinger, weighing 22 pounds, is a short-range weapon. Its 7-pound warhead can strike targets up to 3 kilometers distant. Avenger forces protect maneuver elements during lodgement, early entry operations, shaping activities against fixed and rotary wing aircraft attacks, cruise missile attacks and observation by surveillance platforms. The US Army stated in a field manual published in 2016, "It is essentially a last resort weapon, the kind you'd employ against a helicopter, attack jet, drone, or subsonic missile that is currently firing at you or is about to explode in your face." Number 5. MIL-26 Helicopter. The MIL-26 is a Soviet-Russian heavy transport helicopter. The product code is ISDLE A90. It is the largest helicopter to be serially produced and is used by both military and civilian operators. The Mi-26 was planned to replace the Mi-6 and Mi-12 heavy-lift helicopters and serve as a heavy-lift helicopter for both military and civilian applications, with twice the cabin capacity and payload of the Mi-6, which was then the world's largest and fastest production helicopter. The Mi-26's principal mission was to ferry military equipment, such as 13-ton amphibious armored personnel carriers and mobile ballistic missiles, to remote sites after delivery by military transport planes like the Antonov An-22 or Ilyushin Il-76. Number 4. USS Enterprise aircraft carrier. The USS Enterprise, with a crew of 4,600 military personnel, was the 8th U.S. naval warship to bear the name. The world's first nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, Big E, was launched in 1960 and shared the same nickname as her World War II predecessor. Enterprise, at 1,123 feet, was the longest naval vessel ever built and the 12th heaviest supercarrier. She was supposed to be the first of 6 similar aircraft carriers, but building expenses were so expensive that the other 5 were cancelled. After 51 years of service, she was decommissioned in 2013. Number 3. Schwera Gustaf Gun. The largest cannon ever produced was a German 80 cm railway gun called Heavy Gustav, or Great Gustav. It was created as siege artillery by German industrial group Krupp in the late 1930s with the explicit goal of demolishing the main forts of the French Maginot Line, the strongest fortifications at the time, during World War II. The gun weighed approximately 1,350 tons, required a 500-man crew to maintain and operate, and could shoot targets as far as 29 miles away. The Gustaf cannon was the largest caliber rifled weapon ever used in combat, the heaviest mobile artillery piece ever designed in terms of overall weight, and it fired the most powerful shells of any artillery piece. Number 2. Typhoon Submarine. The Typhoon-class subs are the largest military submarines ever built, measuring 515 feet long. Each of the 6 Typhoon submarines developed could carry 20 ballistic nuclear missiles and remain submerged for 3 months at a time. They required a crew of 160 sailors to operate them. Surprisingly, for a vehicle of its size, the Typhoon was extremely stealthy, thanks to a 5-layer shell of sound-damping plates. The Typhoon submarines were first put into service in 1980, but Russia stopped modernizing them in 2012 due to high maintenance costs. Number 1. Zubr-class Lcac. Air cushion vehicles, often known as military hovercrafts, are a type of amphibious vehicle that has been used by military forces around the world since the 1960s. These flexible vehicles can go over impediments that would prevent traditional boats or wheeled vehicles from moving, and they can travel on land, water, and even ice. The Zubr-class Lcac, one of many hovercraft employed by the Russian Navy, can reach a top speed of roughly 60 knots over smooth water. It's important to remember that the speed of a hovercraft might vary based on the conditions under which it operates, as well as external elements such as wind and waves. It is one of the world's largest hovercrafts, being approximately 187 feet, 57 meters, long, 73 feet, 22.3 meters, broad, and 59 feet, 18 meters, in height from the foot of the hull to the top of the superstructure. The Zubr-class hovercraft can carry up to 500 soldiers or 130 tons of freight, weighing around 555 tons. Its vast size and capacity make it a useful vehicle for military missions. It can quickly move troops and supplies from ship to shore, even in harsh conditions such as ice, mud, and shallow water.